Ladies and gentlemen, Lori Lightfoot, first mayor in 40 years to lose and become just a one-term mayor. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot will lose re-election bid, CNN projects, as crime concerns grow. Chicago Mayor Lori Lightfoot lost her bid for a second term Tuesday, failing to make the top two runoff in the latest demonstration of growing concerns about crime in one of the nation's largest cities. Paul Vallis, a longtime public school chief who ran a tough-on-crime message, and Brandon Johnson, a Cook County commissioner backed by progressives and the Chicago Teachers Union, will advance to the April runoff. Well, the gentleman who's tough on crime should win if people in Chicago want a better city. You have really wonderful, beautiful, amazing human beings living in Chicago, New York, Los Angeles. And these places are run by Democrats who live in a fantasy world oftentimes. Okay? They don't, Democratic policies, ideology needs immense public relations support, coercion, a fabricated consensus, an appeal to experts, while at the same time an active suppression of any dissent from other experts. So you have this warped and distorted ideology in many of these major cities where things that make no sense at all, like hardened criminals, repeat offenders, are just let out on the street. This makes no sense. Prison reform was not about that. It was about preventing what Joe Biden did in the early 90s with Bill Clinton. Putting people away for possession of you-know-what. Which is what Hunter was accused of partaking in, by the way. Not allowing the most heinous, diabolical criminals to just run rampant. And you see what's taking place. Tim Pool did a segment today, and don't know if the video is real, but I mean, there is a breakdown in society. Crime is increased 41% during Lori Lightfoot's tenure in Chicago. Up 41%. It did no good to the good human being, honest, hardworking, amazing human beings who are living in cities, because there used to be a lot of really wonderful advantages to living in cities. Now, if you walk late at night, you have to be careful, especially if, I'll just say, if you are alone, man or woman, you must be careful. You cannot be out late at night just walking around. It's not safe in a major city, especially one run by a Democratic establishment or machine. Now, tough on crime doesn't mean, for example, putting people away forever for minor offenses. It means people who are hardened criminals shouldn't be out on the streets. But see, that's again, logic and reason doesn't work well with Democratic ideology, Democratic Party ideology. I'm all over the place, but I mean, you look at poverty has increased. 17.1% of Chicago lives in poverty. Not an emphasis on business, economic growth. Only a laser focus, a fanatical, apoplectic focus on new, very bizarre ideologies that make urban areas less safe. So, Tuesday's municipal, marked the first time in more than 30 years that Chicago has ditched its mayor. I just read here it's 40 years. So, Mayor Lori Lightfoot loses bid, first one-term mayor in 40 years. Okay. Lightfoot's historic loss marks the first time since 1983 the city has not elected a sitting mayor who ran for a second term. Hit subscribe to this channel, ladies and gentlemen. We'll talk about this and more. Tomorrow, which will be today when you watch this, March 1st, I will start a 5:30 live stream every single day So 5:30 on this channel. Be here every single day. And I'm going to try to start doing some interviews on this channel with some really wonderful, amazing people that you will love. So be here. Live stream every day at 5:30 p.m. Pacific. So be here tomorrow or today if you watch this March 1st, 2023 at 5:30 p.m. Pacific, and I'll have 2 uploads. And of course, I'll also restart H.A. Goodman's other channel because there's a lot of things going on. And we'll get to hopefully 30,000, 40,000 subs there. We're over 203,000 subs here, so hit subscribe. If you want to read my writing in The Hill, The Huffington Post, Salon, The Jerusalem Post, The Federalist, other publications, go to hagoodman.com. Subscribe to a newsletter there. Become part of the Patreon, ladies and gentlemen. And also, your Patreon support is greatly appreciated. It really is. It's below in the pinned comment. And super thanks is below next to the like and the share buttons. If you live in Chicago, give me your thoughts. You know, it's not just about being a Democrat or Republican. There are good Democratic, there are good Democrats, not in my view, not many, but there are good Democratic politicians in certain cities. Okay? It's not really, I'm trying to say, like, it's not just about being a Democratic Party politician. It's about adhering to very bizarre, twisted ideologies that mask major problems. Like, if you want equity and justice, if you want equity, you want justice, you want things to be better for people that Democratic Party, pundits claim are marginalized, why would you then preside over an increase in poverty? Does that make any sense? This is a Democratic president. You have a Democratic mayor. Poverty has gone up. Crime has gone up. What is it about increased crime and poverty that is more equitable or just? So you have ideologies. I'm not going to get into the specific ideologies, but you have these ideologies that talk about historical atrocities. Okay, but if you preside over addressing historical atrocities, and under your watch, crime and poverty have increased, what on earth are you doing? What on earth are you doing? You're not moral, you're immoral. You're not focused on justice and equity and equality. You're doing the opposite. People are less equal when there's crime and poverty increasing. And then you have businesses leaving blue states because there's not an emphasis on economic growth. So you had all these, and it's like, okay, you focus on Trump. See, what Democrats do is Trump is like a security blanket. They can blame Trump for all of their problems, but the problems take place under their watch. Okay, they're trying to blame Trump for the train derailment in Ohio. It's under Democrats in the White House. Pete Buttigieg is transportation secretary. Not one regulation would have prevented that. And it wasn't so much only about what took place. It was about the response. Oh, Ohio's a red state. And you have blue states here that are suffering. You have, right, guys, here, an increase in 41%, 41% poverty. The poverty rate in Chicago, Illinois is 41% higher than Illinois average. The Chicago, Illinois estimated 17.1% poverty, and it increased, crime increased 41%. And in different parts of Chicago, the increase was over 100% in terms of violent crime. How on earth are you focusing on historical injustices by making it worse for the people of Chicago? So that's why Lori Lightfoot didn't win re-election. If you're in Chicago, give me your thoughts below. Poverty and crime are two things that you should limit. You should focus on economic growth and safety. Okay, that's what makes a good mayor. That's what makes a good governor. That's what makes a good city, Give me your thoughts below. Hit subscribe right now. Be here tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Pacific for the live stream, people. Thank you so much.